What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Alolan DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Now last episode we covered one of the Ultra Beast, Xurkitree, and I gave you a choice between two Pokemon available in the Alola region. We had Alolan Dugtrio and we had Oricorio, and you guys chose Oricorio, funnily enough, so that's who we're covering today. Who would have guessed? But of course we have to choose next episode's Pokemon before we start, and it's going to be a choice between two normal types, one being part normal, one being pure normal, with Oranguru and type null. So if you'd like to see the normal psychic Oranguru, comment down below saying Oranguru, and if you'd like to see type null covered instead, let me know by commenting type null, obviously. But for now, let's jump in and have a look at Oricorio. So as I'm sure you know, Oricorio is a many-typed Pokemon, as I will describe it as. It has 4 different typings, with Fire Flying, Electric Flying, Psychic Flying, and Ghost Flying being the 4 different variations you have. And of course, they generally all work the same. There's nothing, not really too much different between them, but they all can be used a similar way, basically. In terms of their size, they're 2 foot tall or 0.6 meters and weigh only 7.5 pounds or 3.4 kilograms, so very small birds. They're in the flying air group, as you might expect, and the male-female split is 25% male, 75% female. Looking at the evolution chain, none of them evolve. Pretty easy to guess that, so simple there. But then looking at the base stats, we have not really anything too good at all. Special attack is 98, and then going to further we have speed at 93, health points at 77, and then attack, special defense and defense at 70. So really they're special attackers, but the stats don't really help you out from there on. So nothing too much to look at, and there's only one ability available, and that is a Dancer. Now if you didn't know what Dancer does, basically when an opponent uses the dance move, you copy it instantly. You also do the move. So if they use Sword Stance, you straight away use Sword Stance as well. Now this sounds like it might be quite interesting, but in terms of a one-on-one battle, not really. Because if you're against Oricorio, why on earth would you Sword Stance? Why on earth would you dance at all? You know they're going to get the exact same boost, so you just wouldn't unless you're, not very knowledgeable. In terms of actual dances, Sword Stance, not going to help you at all. You're a special attacker. Quiver Dance, yeah, pretty much the only dance you're actually going to be pretty good at. Dragon Dance, I suppose, is 50-50, but generally it's not an amazing ability. So the typing, obviously there are 4 different typings, but they're all fairly similar. We obviously have the Fire Flying types, the Fire Flyings, there we are, that's the one, type, which we can see here, a lot of resistances, 3 weaknesses and 1 immunity, same for all of them. The Psychic Flying, we have 3 resistances only, a lot more weaknesses, so probably a lesser, not as good. In terms of Electric Flying, a few more resistances, not quite as many as Bile. And then finally for the Ghost Flying type, sort of, similar to the Psychic Flying almost, a few more weaknesses than resistances, but a lot more immunity. So generally I'd say Bile is the best, apart from that 4 times weakness to the Rock type, because obviously Stealth Rocks and everything, you're not going to be pretty good at that. So Bile, if not, probably Pom-Pom maybe, or Sensu, thanks to those extra immunities. So what moves might you want to use? Well, despite them being 4 types, they don't learn different moves. They don't really get any stab moves for their primary type for fire, ghost, flying, electric, or fire, ghost, psychic, electric, so on. Because of course they could switch between the forms and be able to use Shadow Ball in terms of a electric type, which would make sense. So their move pool is very limited, unfortunately. We have a level 16 Baton Pass, which can be used. If you can dance up, it can be used to switch out. So could be more useful in a double battle scenario. And then level 30 we have Roost, pretty good health and restoration, why not? Followed by another flying type with Air Slash at level 36, basically your flying stab, not quite 100% accuracy but still pretty decent. Then we have level 40 Revelation Dance, which is your signature move, which allows you to use fire, electric, ghost or psychic depending on which type you are. It's a sort of a spare, it's the only move you have basically. So Revelation Dance at 90 base power, it's pretty good. So yeah, I wouldn't really complain about that. And then one final relevant move, it's Hurricane at level 50, so a more powerful flying type stab, but of course only 70% accuracy unless you're in a rainstorm or thunderstorm, which could be pretty good in that case, but apart from that, it's sort of a more risky option there. A couple TMs, first with TM10 Hidden Power, basically your only way to get other good stabs, or not stabs, other good coverage moves, because you've got flying, you've got your other type, and that's basically it, so you're going to have to rely on Hidden Power. TM17 Protect, because why not? You know, you need to protect up every now and again, especially if you have like a dancing set, and you could use it that way. And then one final one is U-turn at TM89. Now, of course, this is a physical move, so you're not looking to do damage with it. It's just allowing you to be a bit more pivotal and in and out, shake it all about. So what moves or what sets could you use Oricorio? Well, as I mentioned, it's not an amazing Pokemon. The ability hinders it, its stats are very mediocre, and in terms of its moves, the coverage is very limited. So we only have one set here, which is really the only way to use it, I suppose, you know, effective way, I suppose, with U-turn or Protect as the first move, Hidden Power, Revelation Dance, and then Hurricane or Air Slash. Ability is Dancer, Nature is Timid. Held item can be a Choice Scarf, a Choice Specs, or a Life Orb, and the EVs we have maximum special attack and speed, as well as a few more in health points. So U-turn or Protect is your either protecting up to, you know, if for whatever reason you might want to protect up, obviously you have to use a Life Orb for that, but U-turn is the other option in terms of being, you know, a pivot basically, and allowing you to be a bit more flexible in that sense. Hidden Power is one of your coverage moves, you know, because obviously you've got Revelation Dance, which is your stab, and then Hurricane or Air Slash, which is your other stab. Hidden Power can be coverage for whatever you're weak to, depending on what type you are. Dancer is the only choice we got. Timid Nature to increase our speed, because really we need to be faster, we're not that defensive, we need to be fast to get those attacks off. Held item, Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, Life Orb. Choice Scarf is a case of I want to outspeed everything as much as I can to do damage to it. Choice Specs is I'm going to outspeed like half the things, but do decent damage to them and lots of damage, and then I'll go down to the more the faster ones. And then finally, Life Orb is the final option. That is a case of I want to do damage, but I don't want to be limited to a particular move, because of course Choice Specs will do that to you. In terms of the EVs, obviously maximum special attack and speed. For speed and power, pretty simple there. But apart from that, yeah, there's not really too much to use in this set. As I mentioned, you might be able to find more success with Oricorio in a double battle scenario where you can actually copy your own dance moves and stuff like that. But apart from that, yeah, it's not great in my opinion. Even with the 4 different types, it doesn't get decent enough stabs apart from Revelation Dance to make much use, and generally apart from that, the coverage is absolutely terrible, and combine that with the bad stats, you're really not going to go far in competitive. But that is going to be it for Oricorio today. Do not forget to vote for next episode's Pokemon, either Oranguru or Type Null. Let me know which you'd like to see by commenting down below, whichever one you'd like to see. Pretty simple. But for now, I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.